Are you one of the millions of Canadians who believes that we should have a solid education system in Canada? Before you answer that, please subscribe and PayPal, because we aren't paid by Justin Trudeau. My guest today is the Minister of Education in Ontario, Stephen LeDrew, and like many Canadians across the coast to coast, education is a provincial matter. But I hear from everybody, they're saying, where did it go? And this minister, a short while ago, said, we're bringing back basics. What does basics mean?
We're going back to the foundations. I mean, in essence, it's ensuring that young people have the foundational skills to succeed.
You mean they can spell their own name and they can read and they know some arithmetic?
It would be a radical concept, but yes, to ensure that our youngest learners actually have mastered the foundations, because if we don't get the basics right, we're not going to be able to unleash the full potential and frankly develop well-rounded, patriotic, contributing citizens of the country. So yes, we insist. We've got to master the fundamentals, reading, writing, math, and emphasize STEM disciplines in the classroom.
So have you been getting any blowback on that from, quote, the experts, the professionals who say, oh, we don't need to teach them that?
You know, sometimes I find elite opinion isn't always aligned with the best evidence, but, you know, a bit, and sometimes even from the unions, et cetera, that are averse to any change, any meaningful change. But overwhelmingly, the experts, including the Ontario Human Rights Commission,
right,
have all suggested there's a need for reform. And they suggested the old curriculum under the former Liberals was leaving too many kids behind, particularly on literacy, on reading, on math. So the EQAO data tells a story. We've got to do better, and we're reinventing and reimagining how we learn in this province by introducing a back to basics kindergarten curriculum and frankly delivering it right across the spectrum from our youngest learners and 4 years old all the way to grade 12.
Well, when you first announced it for higher classes, I put out an announcement saying, you know what, one generation that can't spell their name is enough. And I had tens of thousands of people across Canada say, well, yes, it's about time. So you're on solid ground.
It's common sense, and I think we need more of it in the school system. It's why we brought back critical thinking as well. And we emphasize a literacy program that returned phonics and cursive writing and things that are time-tested and effective strategies that have worked for, respectfully, your generation and mine.
Well, they tried with me. Okay, you bring back the basics. Let's just talk about a second then for cell phones.
Yes.
Previous governments, Liberal governments, have said, oh, it's a good thing to have in the classes. Sure. Most parents, and I have grandchildren, they say, it's not such a good thing. Where are you standing on that, Minister?
Well, look, I mean, it is not ironic that I'm the youngest Minister of Education. I'm a millennial, and I understand the use of technology, that could be a force for good, but it needs to be harnessed within a system in place that actually ensures kids use technology for an instructive purpose. My concern is that cell phones have become so omnipresent, so in every aspect of a child's life, that they have become an element of dependency on the cell phone, and it's a massive distraction in the classroom. Every educator in Ontario has said to me it's a problem, and so we're committed to bringing forth a policy that I think is going to really reduce the impacts, reduce the distraction, and arm the educator with real teeth and with power to hold the kids to account when they violate the basic principle.
Stephen LeDrew, radical as it is, sounds fabulous. Thanks very much. A little bit more than 3 minutes. This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.